I'm 77 years old, and I spent 2 months living in a nursing home. That stretch taught me a lesson I wish I'd learned a lot earlier. It wasn't about comfort, it was about what really matters when your life gets small. Part 1. The American Kind of Loneliness. Surrounded, still empty. You ever sit in a diner booth by yourself? The vinyl cracked, the little jukebox thing stuck to the table, and your coffee's gone cold because you keep staring at the door. The seat across from you is empty, and it stays empty, and you keep telling yourself you like the quiet. Your phone just sits there, silent. No buzz, no ring, like it forgot you. That kind of quiet doesn't feel peaceful. It feels like something heavy is parked on your chest. And the weird part is, you can be in a busy town and still feel like a ghost. You walk into Walmart, you pass 100 people, you nod at a cashier, you swipe your card, you say, "Have a good one," and that's the most talking you do all day. You stand in the grocery checkout line, you hear folks laugh behind you, and you realize you haven't laughed out loud in a week. You go home with a bag of food, and you eat it standing up over the sink because sitting down at the table feels too quiet. Then you get back to the house, and the TV is on with the local news. Not because you care what the weatherman says, but because you can't stand the silence. You walk past the garage and it's empty now, or it's full of old stuff nobody wants. And either way, it feels like a dead room. You check the mailbox and it's just bills again, the kind of envelopes that don't say "I miss you." They say, "Pay up." You glance at the gas prices on the sign down the road, and you think about how everything costs more, and how your world feels smaller at the same time. A lot of folks don't want to call this loneliness. They call it just getting older. They say, "I'm fine," like it's a habit, like it's something you say so nobody asks questions. But listen, you're not fine if you haven't had one real talk with another human being all week. Not a "how you doing" at the store, not a quick nod in the parking lot. I mean a real talk, where somebody hears your voice and you hear theirs. That's not being dramatic. That's just the truth. This hits hard in America for a few reasons, and none of them are your fault, but they still land on you. You retire, and all those little work friendships vanish. The break room talk, the guy you saw every morning, the woman who asked about your weekend. The kids move away for jobs, because rent is high and life is fast, and you can't blame them. But you still feel it in your bones. Then a spouse is gone, or your friends stop calling back, and one day you look around and realize you've been living like a quiet island. And the worst part is not even the sadness. It's the way it changes what you do. Loneliness makes you stop taking care of yourself. Slow at first, and then all at once. You skip real meals, you stop walking, you don't shave, you let the dishes sit, you don't make that doctor appointment because you don't feel like dealing with it. It's not laziness, it's your brain trying to save energy because everything feels pointless when nobody sees you. I've seen people try to fix that hole with stuff, and it never works for long. They buy little things online, they fill the house, they keep busy, and then the quiet comes back at night, and it's still there in the dark. The Social Security check comes in, and you tell yourself you earned it, which you did, but money doesn't talk to you, and it sure doesn't hug you. So you sit in that chair, TV going, and you keep waiting for the phone to ring like it used to. Here's the part that hurts. Hope can hurt too if you keep feeding it the wrong way. You tell yourself, maybe they'll call next week, and next week comes, and nothing. You tell yourself, maybe they're just busy, and sometimes they are. But weeks turn into months, and now you're not just lonely, you're embarrassed, because you feel like you don't matter. That's a nasty trap, because it makes you stop reaching out, and it makes your world shrink even more. So I'm going to give you some tough love, and I mean it with care. Stop pretending you're fine if your world keeps shrinking. Don't sit there waiting for somebody to rescue you from your own living room, because most people are running hard just to keep their own head above water. You don't need a big speech. You don't need a fake smile. You need one real place you show up to over and over, like it's your job. Pick one spot, the public library, the senior center, a little coffee shop, or even church. And I'll talk about church for a second, because it matters. A lot of folks go to church and still feel alone because the lobby handshake can be quick and empty. A smile, a pat on the shoulder, then everyone walks right past you. That doesn't mean church is bad. It just means you have to step 1 inch deeper than the front door. You look at the senior center calendar or the church bulletin and you pick one thing, one lunch, one class, one bingo night, one volunteer hour, and you go even if you don't feel like it. Then you say one simple line to one person. Hey, I'm trying to get out of the house more, and you shut up and let them answer. If that sounds too big, here's what you can do today. Real simple. No drama. Write down one place you can go this week, and one day and time you will go. Then put it on your fridge and treat it like an appointment. When you go, don't try to be charming. Just be real. Ask one person a plain question like, how long you been coming here? And listen. And if you're sitting at home right now, feeling that quiet in your stomach, tell yourself the truth. I don't want to live like this. Then stand up, get your shoes on, and take a short walk to the mailbox, because motion breaks the spell. All right, that's loneliness, the kind that lives in a busy place and still makes you feel unseen. But loneliness has a partner, and it's money stress, because nothing makes you feel more alone than being scared of your own bills. So next, we're going to talk about money in old age, not getting rich, just getting enough breathing room to sleep at night. Part 2. Money in old age. You don't need rich. You need breathing room. You ever stand at the CVS counter or Walgreens, and the clerk tells you the copay, and your stomach drops. You're not even mad. You're just tired, because you already know you need the pills, and you already know the price is going up again. You look at that little screen, you swipe your card, and you feel that quiet fear, the kind you don't say out loud. You walk out holding a small bag, and it feels heavier than it should. Then you get home, and you sit at the kitchen table with the mail spread out, bills on one side, maybe one friendly letter on the other, and the rest is just paper telling you what you owe. You open an insurance letter, and it reads like it was written to confuse you on purpose. You stare at it, and you think, if I don't understand this, what else am I missing? That's where the real fear lives. Not in the store, right there at your own table. Most folks I talk to have 3 worries, and they're simple. What if I live longer than my money? What if I get sick? What if I have to sell the house? That's it. That's the whole nightmare, and it keeps people up at night. You can act tough all day, but at 2 a.m., you're doing math in your head you didn't ask for. And if you're honest, some of you are scared to even look at your bank account. Listen, I'm not here to pet your head, and I'm not here to shame you either. If you avoid the numbers don't stop. They just keep coming. Hoping it works out is not a plan. It's a wish, and wishes don't pay bills. So we're going to do this the plain way, the way a tired working person does it. You look it in the face, you take one small step, then you take the next. Here's the truth. Most older folks don't get crushed by one big dumb choice. They get crushed by small leaks, week after week, month after month, and they don't notice until they're underwater. It's the little stuff, subscriptions you forgot you even had, a phone plan that costs too much, little shopping trips just because, eating out too often because cooking for one feels lonely. It's paying for things you don't use, and you keep paying because canceling feels like work. Then the gas price sign jumps again, and Walmart groceries cost more than they used to, and suddenly the leaks feel like a flood. So start simple, real simple. Take a piece of paper, or use your checkbook, or your bank app, whatever you trust, and write down what comes in each month. That's your base. Social Security, pension if you have it. Anything else. Keep it honest. Don't turn it into a big speech. It's just a number. Money in. Then write down what goes out. Housing, power, water, phone, car, gas, food, and the big one, medical and drugs. A lot of people hate this part because it feels like judgment, but it's not. It's just a flashlight, If your Social Security deposit is the base, that base is often not enough if you don't watch spending. And that's not a character flaw. That's just today's prices. You can't positive think your way out of a grocery bill. You need a clear picture so you can breathe. And breathing room is the whole goal here, not being rich, just being able to sleep. Now, once you see the numbers, you look for leaks you can plug without killing your life. You don't need to eat beans in the dark. You just need to stop paying for junk that doesn't help you. If you've got 5 streaming services and you watch one, cut the rest. If your phone plan is high, call and ask for a cheaper one. Yes, it's annoying, but it's your money. If you keep buying little things for comfort because the house is quiet, be honest about that and find a cheaper comfort, a walk, a coffee at a diner, a chat at the library, something that doesn't show up on your credit card statement like a leak. And don't ignore the receipt problem, because that's where a lot of folks lose control. Keep a worn envelope with receipts on the counter for 1 month, just 1 month. At the end of the month, dump them out on the table and look at what you actually spent, not what you think you spent. You might be shocked, not because you're stupid, but because life is sneaky. A $10 here, a $20 there. It adds up faster than you feel it. Now let's talk about the health stuff, because this is the part nobody wants to hear. Medicare is the health thing you deal with, and even with it, medical costs can still bite you. Those insurance letters can be confusing and stressful, and it's normal to feel lost. But you still have to open the envelope, you still have to read it, and if you don't understand, you call and ask, even if you feel dumb. Feeling dumb for 5 minutes is better than paying the wrong bill for 5 months. Big health events can wipe out savings fast, and I'm not trying to scare you. I'm trying to keep you ready. One hospital stay, one fall, one rehab stay, and suddenly you're looking at costs you never planned for. That's why you don't want to wait until after a crisis to look at your money. When you're sick, you can't think straight, and when you're scared, you sign things too fast. The time to get steady is before the storm, not in the middle of it. And one more thing, quick and plain. If you got a 401k or an IRA sitting there, that's not mystery money. It's part of your picture, and you need to know it exists, and you need to know how much you lean on it. You don't have to be a finance guy, you just have to be awake. If you don't know where your money is, you're going to feel scared for no reason, or worse, you're going to feel safe when you shouldn't. So here's what I want you to do today, not next week, today. Make a 1-page money snapshot, 1 page only. Write what comes in each month. Write the big bills that go out. Write what you pay for meds. And write what you think you spend on food and gas. Don't make it perfect, just make it real enough that you can see it. And stop guessing. Then put that paper somewhere you can find it, because when stress hits, you don't want to dig through piles. And listen, if you're sitting there feeling shame, drop it. Shame doesn't fix a bill. Shame just keeps you quiet. Plenty of good people are scared right now because prices are high and life is heavy, and getting older is not cheap. The goal is not to win. The goal is to steady the ground under your feet. 1 small step, 1 leak plugged, 1 envelope opened, 1 month at a time. All right, that's money, and that's the breathing room we're after. But even if your bills are under control, money won't matter much if your body quits on you. So next, we're going to talk about health and the real price of losing your independence. Part 3. Health and the price of losing independence. I want you to picture this. You're up on a little step stool, changing a light bulb in the hallway. Your hand is up, your feet feel a tiny bit shaky, and for a second, you hold your breath. Then the thought hits you, real quiet. If I go down, who's coming? Not the fire department, not the neighbors. I mean, who is coming fast enough to matter? That thought can make a grown man feel small. People think getting old means you get sick. And sure, you do. But that's not the scariest part. The scariest part is losing your independence, losing the things you can do without asking. It's not the pain. It's needing help to get dressed, to shower, to use the bathroom, to drive, to shop, to live like yourself. When you can't do your own basics, it messes with your pride in a way most folks don't understand until it happens. And here's the truth. Independence doesn't get taken in one big grab. It gets taken in little pieces. First, you stop walking as much because your knee is acting up, and you tell yourself you'll rest it. Then you sit more, you move less, and your legs get weaker without you noticing. Then you start avoiding stairs, avoiding the store, avoiding going out at night, because it's a hassle, because it's risky. Before you know it, your world is smaller, and you're living inside a tighter box. It can start with something dumb, too, like stepping off the porch and your foot slides on a wet step. Or you walk down the icy driveway to grab the mail, and your shoe skids, and your heart jumps into your throat. You catch yourself, this time, and you laugh it off. But your body remembers. Next thing you know, you're walking like the ground is out to get you, and you don't even trust your own feet. That's when you see the cane in the corner, or the walker folded up by the wall, and you tell yourself, that's not me. But listen, it's not about labels, it's about safety and time. A cane doesn't make you weak. It can keep you from a fall that changes your whole life. One bad fall can mean a hospital bed, then rehab, then you're fighting just to stand up, and that's a hard road. You don't have to be a gym person to protect yourself. You just need to be steady. Walking a little every day is not a fitness plan. It's a way to keep your legs working. A few simple moves by a living room chair, standing up and sitting down slow, holding the chair and lifting one foot. That stuff matters. Your balance is like money in the bank. If you don't add to it, you run out. A lot of folks skip the small stuff until it becomes big stuff because they don't want to deal with doctors. I get it. You sit in a clinic lobby and it's packed. Everybody looks tired. The TV is playing some daytime show nobody wants. You wait, and the appointment you booked weeks ago still runs late, and you feel like cattle. Then you get a stack of Medicare paperwork, or you fumble for your insurance card, and you think this is too much. But you still have to stay on top of it, because nobody is going to do it for you. If you don't go in for an annual checkup, the simple kind, the kind where they look you over and catch things early, you're betting your whole life on luck. Luck is not reliable, not at our age. And when you do go, ask questions, even if you feel dumb, because it's your body, and you're the one who pays the price if you stay quiet. Keep your meds simple, too, because missing doses can knock you sideways. A pill organizer on the kitchen counter is not old. It's smart. It keeps you from guessing. That pharmacy auto refill call that comes in, don't ignore it, answer it. Make sure you don't run out on a weekend. And if you've got a blood pressure cuff, use it once in a while, not to scare yourself, just to stay aware. If something starts slipping, don't wait until you can't hide it. If you're getting dizzy, if you're tripping more, if you're holding the wall when you walk down the hall, that's your body waving a flag. This is when physical therapy can help, and it doesn't have to be fancy. A lot of PT is simple. It's doing the same basic moves at home, using a living room chair, showing up for yourself, even when it's boring. Now I'm going to say one thing about pride, because pride is a real problem for us. Older folks hate asking for help. We don't want to bother anyone. We don't want to look weak. But asking early for the right help can keep you independent longer. And that's the whole game. Waiting until you're in trouble, that's when you lose choices. So here's a small action you can do today, and it's not a big deal. It's just a start. After your next meal, take a 10-minute walk. Slow is fine, just move, and notice how your legs feel. Then go to your kitchen table and write down your meds, your next appointment on your calendar, and one question you want to ask the doctor. Keep it where you can see it, because future, you will be glad you did. And if you're thinking, yeah, but what if I really do need help? Well, that's where family comes in, and it gets messy fast. Next, we're going to talk about kids living far away and how it feels when you need them. But life has them pulled in 10 directions. Part 4. Kids live far away. They're not bad. Life is just heavy. I've seen this 100 times. An older parent sits at the kitchen table, the phone face down like it might bite. They type, "How are you?" to their kid. Then they delete it because they don't want to be a burden. The TV is on for noise, but nobody is really watching it. There's a framed family photo on the wall, smiling faces from years ago, and it can make your chest hurt in a quiet way you don't talk about. Then the mail comes, and it's mostly bills again, and you walk it inside like you're carrying bad news. You notice the neighbor's car coming and going, people living their busy lives, and you're sitting there wondering when your house got so still. You remember a birthday that came and went, no card in the mailbox, no call, maybe just a quick text if you're lucky. And you tell yourself, it's fine, but your stomach knows it's not fine. So let me tell you the truth in plain words. Kids live far away because life moves them. Jobs move, rent is high, and people chase work because they have to. Daycare costs a fortune, groceries cost more, and plenty of young families are barely holding it together. Some of them are working 2 jobs, and by the time they get home, they're running on fumes. That doesn't erase your pain, but it explains why the phone stays quiet. Now, yes, some kids are selfish. I'm not blind. Some kids only show up when they need something, and that's a shame. But most of the time, it's not hate, it's life, and life is heavy. A long highway drive takes hours, and a plane ticket costs real money, and it's not always easy to drop everything and come. When you're old and alone, you feel every mile between you, but when they're young and drowning, they feel every hour. Here's where older folks make it worse, and I'm saying this with love. We stay quiet for weeks, we act like we're fine. Then one day, we blow up. We say, "You never call," or "I guess you don't need me anymore," and we think we're telling the truth. But what we're really doing is throwing guilt at them, and guilt doesn't make people come closer. It makes them back up. And another thing, some folks only call to complain. They call and it's bills, pain, doctor stuff, bad news, and then the kid learns, if I answer, I'm going to feel bad for an hour. So they stop answering, not because they don't love you, but because they're already stressed and they can't take one more load. That hurts to hear. I know, but it's real. So what do? You don't sit in silence, and you don't push so hard you shove them away. You set a simple plan, something small and steady. A short call once a week is better than waiting for some big when you're free moment that never comes. A Sunday check-in can work, especially after church, when you're already thinking about people and life. You keep it short sometimes, you keep it light sometimes, so the phone isn't always a problem. And when you need help, you ask for it in plain words, not in hurt words. Don't say, "Nobody cares about me." Say, "Can you take me to my appointment on Tuesday? Or can you help me order this medicine? Or can you call the insurance place with me on speaker?" Clear asks give people something they can do. Hurt words just start a fight, and then nobody gets what they need. There's a real moment that comes for a lot of folks. You've got a doctor appointment you can't drive to. Your eyes aren't what they used to be, or you don't feel steady behind the wheel. You sit there looking at the calendar, and you realize you need a ride, and the kid lives 3 states away. That's when panic hits, and that's when people start saying things they regret. So don't wait for panic. Build a backup plan while you're still calm. This is where I want you to hear me. Your kid should not be your only lifeline. That's not fair to them, and it's not safe for you. You need a backup circle, even if it's small. One church friend who checks in, one next-door neighbor who can give you a ride in a pinch, one old buddy you can call, one person who knows where you keep your meds list and your insurance card. You're not replacing your kids, you're building a net so you don't fall all the way down when life gets messy. And pride is the thing that blocks people here. Older parents hate asking because they feel like they should be the one helping, not the one needing help. They don't want to look weak, and they sure don't want to sound needy. But asking early and simple keeps you safer, and it keeps the ask smaller. If you wait until it's a crisis, The ask gets huge, and that's when everybody gets upset. Now I'll say something else that's hard. You can't make your kids feel what you feel. You can tell them you miss them, you can tell them the house is quiet, but you can't drag them into your head. What you can do is make it easier for them to show up, and easier for them to stay connected. That means keeping some calls light, asking for specific help when you need it, and not setting traps with guilt. And if you've got grandkids, a video call is not nothing. It's not the same as a hug, but it's still a thread. Don't spend the whole call talking about your aches and pains. Let them show you a toy. Let them talk about school. Let them be loud for a minute. You can tell your kid you love them, simple and clean. Then let them go back to their busy life without feeling like they failed you. So here's what I want you to do today. One small thing. No drama. Send one clean text that invites a short call. Something like, "Hey, I miss hearing your voice. Got 10 minutes this week?" That's it. 10 minutes. Not an hour. Not a guilt trip. Then circle one day on your calendar for a weekly check-in, and if it doesn't work right away, you keep trying. Steady, not angry. Because listen, life can turn fast, and if your body takes a hit, you don't want to be figuring all this out from a hospital bed. Next, we're going to talk about nursing homes and why you don't want to learn that world the hard way, in a rush, scared, and unprepared. Part 5. Nursing Homes. The truth ain't pretty. But knowing early helps. The first thing you notice when you walk into a nursing home is not the people. It's your nose. That disinfectant smell hits you, warm air, clean and sharp, like the place is trying hard to stay ahead of sickness. You hear the squeak of a cartwheel, and you hear a TV stuck on local news, like it's been on the same channel all day. You take a few steps in, and your stomach tightens because it doesn't feel like a home. It feels like a system. Then you see a call light blinking over a door, and it just keeps blinking. You don't know how long it has been blinking, but you know it's been long enough to bother you. You see a person sitting by a window, staring out like the glass is the only thing they can still control. And you realize, quick, this place runs on other people's time, not yours. Now listen, not every nursing home is a horror show. I'm not here to sell fear. Some places have good people. Some places are clean, and some staff really do care. But none of them feel like your house, and that's the honest truth. The biggest shock is you lose control of your day, and losing control messes with your head. Meals happen on their time, not because they're mean, but because that's how the schedule works. A cafeteria tray shows up, lukewarm food, maybe it's fine, maybe it's not, but it's not your kitchen, and it's not your choice. Showers happen when staff can fit it in, not when you feel like it. Meds come when the medication cart rolls down the hall, and you learn to listen for that sound, like it's a train coming. Privacy is thinner than most people think, and that part hits hard. There's often a roommate curtain, and that curtain does not make a room private. It just makes it less awkward. You can hear other people's TV, other people's phone calls, other people coughing at night. Sleep gets broken up because people need help. Alarms go off. Somebody is always moving in the hall. If you're used to peace and quiet, that change can feel like torture. And the dignity part? That's the part people don't want to talk about until it's too late. You can be a tough guy your whole life, a proud woman who raised kids and paid bills, and still end up needing help with the basics. Help getting dressed, help getting cleaned up, help getting to the bathroom on time. A lot of strong people get quiet and small, not because they gave up, but because it's hard to be seen that way. You'll see the little signs of it everywhere. A name band on the wrist, like you're at a hospital, like your name is something that can get lost. Walkers and wheelchairs lined up outside doors, like parked cars. A CNA doing rounds, moving fast, trying to do 10 jobs at once, and you can hear shift change chatter at the desk. Nobody's trying to be cold, but the place is busy, and you can feel how easy it is to become the next room. You might see bingo night in a community room, and some folks enjoy it. They really do. Some people laugh, some people play along, and for a moment it looks almost normal. But then you see the ones who don't move, The ones who just sit there because that's where the staff brought them. That's the part that sticks with you. How much of your day can become where you were placed, not where you chose. So here's why I'm talking about this now. Knowing early helps. Most people don't choose a nursing home calmly. They get shoved there by a crisis, a fall, a stroke, a bad infection, a hospital stay that turns into you can't go home yet. Families get overwhelmed fast, and everybody is scared and tired and signing papers they don't understand. That's how people end up in a place blind, with no plan, no papers, and no voice. You don't need fancy legal talk to do better than that. You just need simple prep. First, make a one-page health sheet. 1 page, nothing fancy. List your meds, your dose, your allergies, and your doctors. Keep it simple and readable. Put it in a folder and put a copy in a spot someone can find fast, like a kitchen drawer or taped inside a cabinet door. Second, have your basic papers in one place, not scattered in 5 drawers. ID, insurance card, Medicare card if you have one, a list of emergency contacts, and any important phone numbers. A simple folder or binder is fine. It doesn't need to look pretty. The goal is, if you're confused or weak, somebody can still help you without digging through your whole house. Third, name one trusted person who can speak up for you when you can't. It might be a grown kid, a sibling, a close friend, somebody with a steady head. Tell them where the folder is, and tell them what matters to you. In plain words. I want to stay close to home if I can, or I don't want to be moved without someone calling you, or I want you to ask questions, not just nod. And yes, there will be paperwork, lots of it. A clipboard shows up, forms get slid across a desk, and you're supposed to decide things while your brain is tired. A caseworker or social worker might be part of it, and that person can help, but you still need your own info ready. When families show up with nothing, it turns into panic, and panic makes people make bad choices. I also need to say one plain thing about money, because it matters. Care can burn through savings fast, faster than most people think, and I'm not saying that to scare you. I'm saying it so you don't get blindsided. Ask early what things cost. Ask what is covered, ask what is not, and don't be embarrassed to ask. A lot of folks nod like they understand. Then they get a bill later and feel sick to their stomach. And let's be real about holidays too, because that's when the feelings hit hardest. A Thanksgiving visit or a Christmas visit can feel too short, even when people mean well. They show up, they bring a little gift, they take a picture, and then they're gone, because life pulls them away. Then the room gets quiet again, and you're sitting there with the TV and the hallway noise, and you feel that drop in your chest. None of this means you should swear off nursing homes like they're evil. Sometimes you have to go. Sometimes it's the safest thing, and sometimes it gives a family a break they desperately need. But if you wait until you're in a hospital gown to learn how this works, you give up choices you could have kept. Knowing early helps you keep dignity, and it helps your family stay calm. So here's one small action you can do today, not next month, today. Make that one-page health sheet, meds and allergies and emergency contacts, and put it somewhere easy to find, and put a copy on the fridge under a magnet. Then start one folder with your ID and insurance card info, so nobody is hunting through your life in a crisis. Because the next thing we're going to talk about is cleaning up your stuff and your papers, so your family isn't stuck sorting your whole world when they're already scared. Part 6. Clean up your stuff, your papers, and the things unsaid. You ever open that garage door or walk down into the basement, and the smell hits you, dust, old cardboard, old paint, and that stale air that's been sitting there for years. You look at all those boxes stacked up, tools hanging, holiday decorations and broken tubs, and you realize something real fast. Nobody knows what any of this is except you, and half the time, you don't even know anymore. It's just stuff that stayed, because you stayed busy and time kept moving. Now here's the gut truth. If you land in the hospital tomorrow, somebody else is going to dig through that mess. They'll be tired. They'll be scared, and they'll be mad. Even if they love you, they'll be looking for one paper, one card, one key, and instead they'll find 3,000 things that don't matter. And while they're digging, they're also trying to handle doctors, calls, and bills, and that's how families fall apart over dumb stuff. So when I say clean up, I'm not talking about being neat like you're trying to impress company. I'm talking about making life easier when a crisis hits. A fall, a hospital stay, or a move you didn't plan for. Cleaning up is kindness. It's one of the last kind things you can do for the people who might have to carry you. And you don't do it in one big dramatic weekend. You do it little by little, like a steady job. First cleanup is the stuff, the clutter, the weight. You've got a junk drawer in the kitchen full of old batteries, twist ties, loose screws, and mystery parts. And you keep it because you might need it. You've got old tools you haven't touched in 10 years and boxes of cords that fit nothing you own. You've got holiday decorations you don't even like, but you keep them because they belong to somebody or because throwing them out feels like throwing out the past. Listen, most of it is not treasure, it's weight. It turns into a burden for your kids because they won't know what to keep, and they'll feel guilty about everything. So do it slow and simple. 1 box a week, 1 trash bag, 1 donate pile, and 1 keep pile. And that's it. Don't make it fancy. Put on the local news in the background if you need noise. Stand there for 20 minutes. Make a few choices, then stop before you get worn out. And don't lie to yourself about the attic and the basement. A basement full of boxes is not storage. It's a problem waiting for a bad day. An overstuffed garage means you can't even park your car, and you're tripping over your own life. Start with the easy stuff, the broken stuff, the duplicates, the things you don't even like. Save the emotional stuff for later. You don't have to wrestle your whole past on day one. Second cleanup is the papers. And this is where families really get stuck. You sit at the kitchen table with a stack of unopened mail, utility bills, bank statements, insurance letters, and half of it is piled up because it stresses you out. Then a crisis hits, and somebody else has to make sense of it with no map. They start opening drawers, searching for an insurance card, looking for a birth certificate, trying to find your Social Security card, and all they find are piles and old receipts. I've seen people keep important papers in the weirdest places. In a shoebox with receipts, under the bed, in a cookbook, in a random envelope, like it's a squirrel hiding nuts. Then when you need it, you can't find it, and you get angry, and everyone else gets angry too. So do this the simple way. Get 1 file folder or a binder and label it in big plain letters. Important. Put the basics in there, ID stuff, insurance card, birth certificate, bank stuff you need, and any medical papers that matter. Then put a simple sheet on the fridge, held up with magnets, like you're back in the old days. Write emergency numbers, 1 or 2 contacts, and any key info somebody would need fast. If you end up in the ER, somebody will go to your house, and that fridge paper can save hours of panic. And while you're at it, deal with your key ring, the one with mystery keys you never labeled. Figure out what they go to, or throw them out, because a key that opens nothing is just clutter that feels important. Now, I'm going to mention passwords, and I'm going to keep it plain. If you have a phone and you have a bank login, somebody needs a way in if you're out of it. Not for snooping, for paying bills, for calling the right people, for handling real life. Write down what they need, keep it in a safe or a lockbox, and tell one trusted person where it is. You don't have to trust the whole world, just one steady person, because getting locked out in a crisis is a nightmare you don't need. Third cleanup is the hardest one, and it's not in a box. It's in your chest. It's the things unsaid, the grudges, the old fights, the hurt you keep swallowing. Some families have been mad at each other for 20 years over something small that got big. Some people haven't said I love you in so long, it feels awkward, like a language they forgot. And some people carry shame so heavy they never ask for forgiveness, even when they want it. This part isn't about making a perfect happy ending. Life is not a movie. Sometimes you can fix it, sometimes you can't. but you can still clean it up a little, so you don't leave a mess behind. You can say, "I'm sorry," if you were wrong, and you can say it without excuses. You can say, "I love you," even if it feels strange, because it's better than leaving it unsaid. And sometimes you can say, "I forgive you," not because what happened was okay, but because you're tired of carrying it. And if you can't talk face to face, you can write it down. A short note, simple words, no long speech. You don't have to pour your whole soul on the page, you just have to make one honest move. So your last chapter isn't all silence and pride, because when someone is gone, people don't just miss them, they miss the chance to fix things. And that regret is a heavy thing to hand your family. So here's one small action you can do today. Right now, if you've got the energy, pick one box, just one, and either throw it out, donate it, or label it clearly and put it where it belongs. Or make that one folder and put your insurance card and the most important papers in it. Then put emergency contacts on the fridge. Do one small thing, and you'll feel that little bit of breathing room right away. And once you've cleared a little space in your house and a little space in your head, we can talk about the last part, how to live what time you've got left. Small, simple, and real, without waiting around for life to get easier. Part 7. Living the time. You've got left small. Simple. Real. Most evenings look the same at our age, and that's not a bad thing. You sit on the front porch in the suburbs. You've got a glass of iced tea or a cup of coffee, and the street is quiet. You hear a neighbor's car pull in, you hear a door shut, and you hear that TV inside playing local news like it always does. And the thought shows up, plain and simple. How many more seasons do I get? Now here's the truth. A lot of folks keep waiting. They wait for the right time, the right mood, when things calm down, when money feels better, when the pain is gone, when the kids call more. And it never really comes, because life doesn't calm down. It just changes shape. If you keep waiting, you wake up one day and you've been waiting for years. So I'm not going to tell you to be happy all the time. That's not real. I'm going to tell you to stop waiting and start doing a few small things that keep your body working and keep your heart from drying up. You don't need a big bucket list. You don't need to travel the world. You need a steady week. A steady week is what keeps you from sliding into that cold. Quiet life where every day feels the same and you don't even notice you're shrinking. First anchor is your body, and you don't have to make it complicated. A 10-minute walk after meals is enough to start, and if you can't do 10, do 5. Just do it. If walking outside feels risky, do a few balance moves by a chair in your living room. Hold the chair, lift one foot, stand tall, sit down, slow. The goal is not to look good, the goal is to stay able, so you can still do your own life. Second anchor is one real human connection each week, not 10, just one. One short phone call plan you actually keep, like Sunday afternoon or Wednesday morning, something simple. Or one coffee with a friend, one trip to the library, one stop at the senior center, one church service where you stay 5 minutes after instead of rushing out. You don't need a crowd, you just need one person who knows you're still here. Third anchor is a tiny bit of prep, so you don't panic later. One paper in a folder, one box cleared, one list on the fridge. That's it. You keep a pill organizer on the counter so you don't guess. You keep a grandkid photo on the fridge so the house feels like it has people in it. You do small grocery runs instead of waiting until you're out of everything, and you're stressed, even if groceries cost more now, even if gas prices make you sigh when you pass the station. You don't need perfect, you need steady. And I need you to hear this part. Doing it first is what brings the motivation later. A lot of folks say, "I'll go walk when I feel like it," but you won't feel like it, not most days. You do it anyway, and then your body wakes up a bit, your mood lifts a bit, and you think, okay, that wasn't so bad. Same with calling people. You won't always feel like it, pride gets in the way, and loneliness tells you to stay home and stay quiet. Loneliness is sneaky like that. It acts like it's protecting you from getting hurt, but it's really just keeping you stuck. So keep it simple and make yourself a plain weekly plan that you can actually follow. Pick one day for a call, put it on your calendar, and keep it short. 10 minutes is fine. Pick one day for a longer walk or 2 short walks, and do it like an appointment, not like a wish. Pick one day to clean one small thing, one drawer, one box, one folder, and then stop. Don't turn it into misery. If you do those 3 things most weeks, you will feel different, not young, but steadier, less afraid, less alone. And don't forget the little routine stuff that keeps a life from falling apart. Take that short walk to the mailbox, even if it's just bills, because it gets you moving and it gets you outside. Look at a church bulletin or a community calendar and pick one thing, one simple event, one lunch, one class, and show up. Go do a small grocery run when the store is quiet, so you're not rushed and angry. These are not big dreams. These are small rails that keep you on track. I'm not promising you it gets easy. It doesn't. Your body will still ache some days. Your house will still get quiet at night, and people will still disappoint you sometimes. But you can make it less cruel by doing a few small things on purpose. That's the real win at this age. Not being fearless, just being ready. So here's what I want you to do today, not tomorrow. Do one small thing. Take a short walk, make one phone call, or put one paper in the folder. Just one. Then sit back down, take a breath, and tell yourself the truth. You're still here, and you can still steer your life a little. All right, that's all I've got for you today. Take care of yourself, and do that one small thing before the day gets away from you.